What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Rue's Reviews, and today we are chatting about Thought Extraction from Joel Anthony. So, let's get into this. Yes, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, hello, my name is Rue. I do weird things for a living, including this review channel. And today, as I mentioned, we are chatting about Thought Extraction by Joel Anthony. So, what is Thought Extraction? Thought Extraction is a gimmicked envelope set that you can use for mentalism routines. This set allows you to do things like one ahead or maybe sneak thief type of routines where you can have a few people involved, and everything boils down to this one gaff envelope. This is a new type of peak envelope. So, if you guys have used peak envelopes in the past, maybe things like Shacks and Flap envelopes or window envelopes or that kind of thing, then you guys might like what this envelope does. The actual gaff envelope itself sits among the other envelopes, meaning that you can take your peak of a written word or a drawn item, whatever is inside of that envelope, whilst that envelope is within a stack of other envelopes. So the envelope doesn't have to be on top, it doesn't have to be on the bottom, it can literally be in the middle of this stack of envelopes as they're being mixed, and at a moment's notice, you can peek that information. So this is the packaging Thought Extraction comes in. There you go, Thought Extraction by Joel Anthony. And it's just a very nice, simple, elegant little, envelope, for lack of a better term. That's exactly what it is. Nice little string that goes around the top here that sort of holds everything in place. But yes, this is the packaging that will come with your product. And within that, you get your envelope. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 envelopes are what you'll get. Now, I've actually got playing cards in these envelopes. So these are playing card size envelopes. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but they comfortably fit a poker size playing card. They'll fit billets, business cards, that kind of thing. But these are a great size. These are just normal pay envelopes, but these have actually been doctored in a specific way. And Joel goes into this in the tutorial, which I'll get into in a little bit. But as you can see, very innocent, very normal looking envelopes. And as well as that, you also get a cool little pamphlet. Now, you don't normally get these kind of things anymore with products. These little pamphlets actually teach you a routine. It sort of gives you like a quick start guide to being able to use this set. But essentially, it's just the origins of the peak. You get a performance in here, which is kind of a one ahead type thing. And you also get these cool images as well. I'm going to cover that up. But you sort of see what kind of images you're getting, which kind of, is reminiscent of the older packet tricks that I used to get from Davenport's and other magic shops. So I think it's really, really nice that you get this here, like with this little package set. At the back of this as well, you also get some other applications for different plots using the envelope. But yeah, very nice little addition to this set. As you can see from the envelopes themselves, and I've mentioned that these are just normal pay envelopes. There's nothing special about them. They have been sort of adapted a little bit to be used for the routines. But again, Joel goes into these. But these are just normal paper envelopes, so they will perish over the time. They're not like Tyvek envelopes that will sort of keep better over time, but Joel goes into how to make more of these in the tutorial. So over the years, I have done many things with peak and window envelopes, and something like this little set here is a great little addition if you're doing mix and mingle. You can do it in a parlour show for sure, but look how thin all that takes up. That's the amount of space that takes up in your pocket. It is tiny. These 5 envelopes, so 1 gaffed, 3 ungaffed, 4 ungaffed, sorry, will just sit in your jacket pocket, takes up no pocket space at all. And that is where I think something like this really shines. You can do really cool things with just this minimal amount of space in your pocket. If you're going to do like a drinks reception or something with standing tables, the sort of waist height tables, this could be really cool for that kind of scenario as well. So a couple of things to point out here. 1, I really love this set, but 2, it is a set that is going to be more targeted towards mentalists than people getting into mentalism. If you're already doing work with window envelopes or peak envelopes, then this is a really nice addition. I don't, however, think if you're new to mentalism or even new to envelope work, like peak envelope work, that this is the first place to go to. I think this is a really nice addition for people who know where an envelope or peak envelope like this could go in their routine. Also, there's a few things that are mentioned in the ad copy which I don't 100% agree with. For example, they say that the dirty side can be left face up on the table and you're completely clean. This is the gimmicked envelope here. This is a non-gimmicked envelope. I'm going to hold them side by side so you can sort of see. Personally, if I'm this close, I can sort of tell which is which. You know, you don't have to be that far away to be able to tell which is which. On this side, it's completely fine. You can't really tell any difference at all. But on the dirty side, which is what the ad copy is claiming to mention here, I can sort of tell which one is the gaff envelope and which one isn't, right? So I'll take that with a pinch of salt. It shouldn't really be one of the selling points in my opinion. I don't think the dirty side is clean enough to warrant it being a selling point. However, when it's mixed up like this, I think it's okay to sort of flash that dirty side of the envelope. So having it like this is completely fine. If I sort of flash like this, I'm okay. But I don't want to be dropping them on the table in the dirty side orientation. I'll just always keep them in this orientation here. Another thing to be wary of when you're using these envelopes is that the gaff envelope definitely feels different to the other envelopes, which is fine for you. But if you're handing these out to people, do so with caution. I've tried this with a couple of people, to friends and family members, who have kind of said, I kind of can feel something's not quite right here, okay? However, I have performed with these, and the person I was performing to didn't feel a thing. I used exactly the same rationale. You know, I didn't go in saying, here are some dodgy envelopes. Can you just mix them up behind my back and tell me if you feel anything weird? No, I went in and said, I've got some envelopes with some cards. Can you just take them for me and mix them up behind your back and just bring them out when you're ready? So that was the same pattern I used on family members, friends, and the general public as well. So for me, I'm not sure how confident I am in handing these out to be mixed, which is a bit of a shame, but if you get the right person, if you're in the right kind of environment, I think you're perfectly fine to hand these out to be mixed. The main peek tour is very, very easy to do. You show the top envelope, you get your peek, you come away, and you are clean and good to go. You've got your one ahead to start the rest of your routine. But of course, there are many, many different ways of getting your peek. I actually came up with one where when the cards are handed back to you, they come back like this, and I sort of stagger them a little bit. I'm able to get my peek in that moment and cleanly show all the way around, okay? So I'm able to get my peek here as I'm able to show the cards around. So there's many, many different ways of being able to get your peek using this envelope. Whilst I have my reservations about certain aspects of this gaff, what I really love is how there's no way the gaff can sort of get hooked up. It works on gravity, it works because of the way that the envelope is made. There's nothing that will sort of get in the way, if you know what I mean, in terms of loading cards in and out and that kind of thing. It's pretty much all under your control. And also, even because the tops are kind of cut off and they've got these little scalpeled edges here, everything just is easy and clean and just means it doesn't get hung up whilst you are performing. The main tutorial itself is with Joel, and he's in front of a camera, nice studio situation just like this, and he's just basically going through the gaff, how to use it a little bit, but also more importantly, how to make more gaffs, which you can do because this is just a pay envelope, along with other additional extra envelopes as well if you need to. The actual process to make these envelopes is a little bit arts and craftsy. If you've got an X-Acto knife, some scissors, bit of glue, that kind of thing, most mentalists will have that. But if you want to start making more, you have to have that equipment in your house to be able to do it. So I would say that there's things like a 1-inch hole punch, which for these scalloped corners, the scallops in the middle there. So things like a little 1-inch hole punch, you need to get in, you know, if you haven't got them already. Most mentalists probably will already have something like that in. But it's just something to point out that if you want to make more, that's kind of what the main tutorial is about. There's also some additional tutorials. There's one by a guy called Jason Varga, who I believe is a mentor of Joel's. It's about half an hour long, this tutorial. And it's basically him in portrait mode, just in his kitchen, I think, just going through his version of Max Maven's Desire routine, okay? So 5 people pick a word. Well, 4 people pick a word. One person picks a word that means something to them, like their desire, what they desire to be when they're older, I believe it is in this case, or what they desire to feel when they're older. And you're able to figure out which envelope belongs to which person. And then finally, without looking at the last word, you're able to divine what that person is thinking or feeling. It's really nice to see Jason break down that routine. It's not something that I've really done much of in the past, Max Maven's Desire. I know lots of people do use it, but it's nice to see that Jason has clearly gone and worked that routine. He also shows his interpretation of his peak, so he teaches a little peak variation using these envelopes as well. There's also a nice little addition from Craig Petty. Craig Petty's not actually in this, it's Joel teaching Craig Petty's contribution, but that's just using the gaff wallet by itself and a written prediction, which you can keep out in full view, and a deck of playing cards. It's very, very cool. It's just a nice way to use this envelope by itself without having to use all the other envelopes included as well. I've known Joel for a little while now. I think I met him last Christmas, actually. We were up in London with Lord Harry and Ben Williams, and we were filming some Coin Magic up there. That was the first time I met him, which was really good fun. And then I spent a nice evening with him and his missus at Blackpool Magic Convention. We just sat at the Rusking, chatting till whatever time of the morning. Lovely, lovely bloke, really passionate about magic and coin magic and mentalism. And this is one of his I think this is his third release now to the magic community. Another release is called Slingshot, and another one is called Hung, Drawn and Quartered, both of which you should check out. In my opinion, this isn't the be-all and end-all for envelope peaks. However, what this does do is get me excited about the possibilities. You guys know that on this channel, I only review things that I sort of get excited about and know where they can go into my routine. That's why there are some playing cards in here now. Now, obviously, the playing cards don't come with this, but it's just a nice way. Actually, I do keep them in here for a couple of reasons. One, it's for a routine that I'm doing with them, but two, it also helps to keep the shape of the envelope, right? It's a lot easier to load cards back into the envelope when you've already had a card in there. The fact that you can get a peek from the middle of the stack, the gaff envelope now is actually in the middle. It's right here, actually, it's second from the bottom. I'll put it here, right bang in the middle. There you go. It's the third envelope from the middle. All I have to do is come up. I've got my peek, and I'm able to display the envelopes like so. Very, very simple, very, very easy to do. The fact that you can do that just means you have slightly more freedom and more places to go to as a mentalist. You don't have to worry about your peak. The fact that it happens so naturally and kind of all in your control, there's nothing that can go wrong with it. The fact that these can be made again and again and again is an absolute godsend for mentalists that work. You know, envelopes like this do get ruined. And Tyvek, whilst Tyvek's great, it does get dirty and it does get a bit dog-eared at times. And if these were made out of Tyvek, I don't think there's as much value with that anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that are made out of Tyvek nowadays, even extreme burns and that kind of thing, which still great, but after time, they do look a bit haggard and dog-eared and that kind of thing. So if you can make these over and over again, then your quid's in. And there you go, guys. That was Thought Extraction by Joel Anthony. Very nice, very simple little product that can work miracles within your mentalism set. If you know where something like this could go ahead and grab it. The links are below. Thank you very, very much again for watching. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you all in the next Rue's Reviews. Ciao.